Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to work on a Exia real grade model. I'm really excited for this. This would actually be my first real grade, and I'm a big fan of the 00 series, so I figured why not start with this. So let's go ahead and do the quick unboxing on this before we get into the build. Okay, wonder what that yellow is. All right, there's the book. Nice and clean, good quality. You know, I would say this is probably a perfect mix between the high grades and master grades. It feels premium. It's good. So let's get these guys open. So it looks like we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 total sprue sets. Again, you know, Bandai being extremely creative with their multicolor sprues. This is even 2 different color blues right here. I mean, Jesus, how do you do that? I'm gonna get these sorted and we'll get started on the first piece. Now, today I have something pretty cool. This is a sprue organizer I printed. This just looks super handy, so I'm going to test this out today, and at the end of the build I'll give it a little review and let you know if I recommend it. Alright, after organizing all the sprues, I just came across this one. Man, I'm pretty excited to see how this looks at the end. It's really cool. So getting into the main manual here, see what they want us to start on. Okay, so it looks like this one's going to start with the legs kind of all at once. Looks like going to build a bit of a skeleton as we go through. Should be interesting. I'll try to do them simultaneously just to, you know, maybe speed things up a bit. So let's get into it. For those of you that can't tell, this sprue has molded pieces in the mold that are jointed in the same shot. Look at this. How do you do that? I think there's other pieces that do it too, like this one. That definitely moves a little bit. I have no idea. Oh man, that is so cool. Yeah, I've only seen videos of the perfect grade doing that. Man, that is impressive. Wow. Right out the gate, first step. Man, they were able to even do it with a ball joint. That was injected in the same piece. With the friction that it has, I'm really torquing on this. That's really cool. Whoa. Okay, check this out. So first off, this is the knee. This slidey piece was injected in on the same sprue. I didn't assemble that. Its little dimple goes in there. So that way when the leg bends, this little thing can slide. That's genius. That's genius. This is it assembled. Look at that. Wow. With a double jointed knee. Amazing. This is so cool already. I'm excited. I've already noticed now that I've just put this other foot together, and the flexion in the toe was already built into the skeleton. This is how they're able to get an Exia down to 1/44 scale. It's these kind of things. It's crazy. And we can already see, I don't know what they're setting up, but look at that. That's where this piece just fits in a little too cleanly. Something's gonna rotate. That's gonna be cool. Dude, what? This leg is way more complicated than I thought. Man, this is incredible. Just watch and then note the friction that this will have for sprue snap fit modeling. Look, to bend this leg all the way, this is obviously the knee. Just look at all the mechanics that happen here, 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 and that other one we looked at earlier with this slide. Look at all that just to get your knee to bend like a knee does. Watch it as it comes back together. Watch this piece even. So, you see that? Incredible. Man, this is really awesome for sure. Like, that just accents that extra motion in that thigh there. So many moving parts. We haven't even done anything, and the layering that you can tell is happening already. This is gonna look good. Okay, I don't know what that's gonna be for, but it's gonna look good. Okay, I just did this on the other leg. Just look at how this goes together. Okay, well, keep that in place. I think that's gonna be for like the shoelace piece. But, so you get this back piece. This is pretty simple, just kind of slots in there. But then this piece, it's hiding all sorts of coolness. You get it on there, like so, and look at that. Look at all the movements are in one knee bend. This is happening. That's moving, separating, and then you have this. I mean, how crazy is that? So impressive. So cool. Man, I've never done a real grade before. This is really cool. Dude, just a little extra. Man. So neat, man. Oh my god. Just a little bit extra in there. Just in this piece, you have, the lower skeleton of different colors, the just slightly different gray to white. Man, it makes everything pop. And just like that, I think I have both of the legs completed, the left and the right. So much detail in that. Man, I hope I didn't bite off more than I can chew. It's already getting a little late. Man, but it is worth it. Look at that detail, man. Why does that move together? What? That is so... Alright, so I guess the legs now will be put aside, and we're going to start on the main torso here. Back to the single shot sprue that has hinges in it, man. It's probably going to be like the pec or something. They didn't have to do that. So cool. Man, for this front piece, they didn't have to do it like this to get the extra little layering color in. They could have just injected this hook thing there, but nope. Because if you open it, it's going to be gray. So it needs to just go ahead and be a separate color. Just go in that extra step every time. Man, this is a satisfying setup here. Coming up towards the end of this torso, the way that slides in and catches that pin, you've got all kinds of colors layered in throughout the process. Man, so satisfying. These all open, so much articulation already. So great. Man, all that on those fins to kind of just cover them up a bit. But the detail of doing two different shades of blue just brings it together. Again, one of those single shot mechanical skeleton pieces that also just happens to snap. Boom, there's your hip. Those two pieces are not fun. Oh, they need to find a new way to do that. It's gonna be like a double hinge here for the beam saber handle. Man, that snap is always great. I already did the other one. Just so you can see though, it's gonna pop into this guy. Boom. It's a little fragile. Then this will fold down with, again, some extra swing and articulation in there, isn't it? Look at all these moving parts. Unnecessary, but just makes it that much cooler. So it looks like the torso is complete with those beam sabers and all their different ways of moving around. So clean. GN drive, articulation of these yellow pieces, different color blues on the same piece. Even in the hip, you got this. So impressive. So let's get the legs on. Man, this is a mean model right here. Look at all the articulation just in bending the knee. The hip even, giving that little extra as it moves. Still don't know what this is going to be before. Probably just an extra little hip protector. Look at that. Of course, it's got the sway, the torso. Man. I've done master grades a few times, but I've never done a real grade. I don't know if they're all like this, but this is so far my favorite experience. Well, everyone, it's a new day today because it was getting pretty late last night, and I was looking at how detailed this guy was getting and had no idea how long that was going to take. So next up, we're going to get started on the arms. This, after looking through the book, actually is not too complicated. I might have been able to finish, but we're definitely going to knock it out today. So let's get into it. So first things first, this is the first time I've been able to get a good shot of this. So this is what I was talking about, how they were able to injection mold a hinge already in there. I mean, that's impressive. I don't know how they do it. I saw it on the Adam Savage video, which was just crazy for a perfect grade, but for a real grade, I did not expect this. And with that, that is the first completed sprue of the kit. It's just the exoskeleton one. Just to show off a little bit of the arm, it's much similar to the leg as far as that extra mechanical stuff that you won't even see, but it adds a little bit extra to it when you're posing it and moving it around. Super cool. So let's keep on moving. Look at that bit of layering there. Clever. Of course we forgot the sticker. Probably a good way to look at the before and after. Wow. Look at this. That's how you have to get it in there. Like this side has to be open. But you see how this is crossbody? The way you get it like a normal arm. Turns right into that. Gosh. I mean, this is true like engineering work. This is not just a ball and joint pivot or anything like that. This is the real stuff. Chose the open hands, but now I feel like I'm Karate Chop Man. But And then of course the flexion as a result when you put the joint there with an extra joint. Man. And just to give you guys an idea of the amount of friction holding these joints in, watch. I mean, that's how tight these tolerances are. Incredible. Incredible. Let's get these guys some pauldrons, huh? Man, at first I was questioning the point of having a tiny accent piece like this. But its job is to hold this little, data ribbon down on that nub. Really did sort of think of everything. Gosh, and that's so tight on there. That's not coming off. Man. And it just gives it that extra bit of flexion too. Pauldron's done. Look at that. Very cool. On to the head. Home stretch. Man, when Bandai is on their game, they're on their game. 3 pieces, so small, just to get this color layering going. I can tell you this is going to look good. This has got to be the tiniest piece you could imagine, right? Okay, so that's the crest put in. We finally got the head on there. Man, that's a finished Exia, just bare bones. Looks amazing. Man, this is going on to be one of the best builds I've done so far. I love it. So next couple of steps is we'll get on to weapons and all that sort of good stuff and see where it takes us. But man, the detail here, this is coming out to be my favorite model kit so far. This is great. Okay, so it's been a little bit of time since I finished it up, so I'd been messing around with the poses. I think this is kind of cool. Almost just getting ready to draw the beam saber or beam sword. There's so much expression you can get because of all the details they put into each joint and all that good stuff. So onto the weapons. I'm pretty excited for this because I think the Exia weapon kit is pretty unique and kind of cool. So let's dive in. Man, I wouldn't have even thought to do this. I thought it was just going to be like maybe a darker blade option with a silver one. But no, they're actually using both of these as the sort of color layering approach, which, man, I'm so glad they did that because, I mean, that's going to look 10 times better just like that. What is that trying to be? Is it trying to do like that? I don't know. We'll see, but it fits in there nicely. Should be cool. So many moving parts to that. This will slide. Snap to something. This will flip. Oh man, we're going to be messing with this here in a minute. That's for sure. The way these GN blades go together is pretty cool in my opinion. Obviously you want this to be able to stay in there and not just slip out. So they get that little extra T-piece there. And this not only adds color but has a slot to hold it all together. And everything snaps in place. It's not going anywhere. Look how that gray piece on the back does two things. Not only does it actually give some color to the back of this thing if you ever see it, but just that peek through to give the panel separation. Again, it's just that little bit extra throughout the model that just really makes it worth doing. As an example of how Bandai does hands, you'll see they do half the closed fist there and the other half there, with just some slots and snaps to get them in. Then you would put a weapon in there or a sword in there and clamped on it. It's just pretty clever, you know, without having to make individual fingers. They just do two halves. So let's finish this up. For example, that's how that can end up looking, the way it clamps on that. So let's get this guy kitted out. I think I'm gonna go with this and the other one. I think that's the most Exia way to do it. All right, man, I'm happy to be at the finish line on this one. It's definitely a really fun build. I enjoyed pretty much every step of it. Most of them were doing something pretty incredible with just the injection molded stuff, whether it be printed in hinges or just extra movements that were not required to be a cool kit, but they did it anyways. Just the extra attention to detail that, man, you wish you can expect from other things even. So, you know, quick inventory of what you get as far as kit goes. I've got a couple of fists, a couple of weapon holding hands left, one more of these fully articulating ones, a couple that are just open. This is for the stand. These are really cool. I'll say I'm not a huge fan at how they stick on. They kind of go as hip things here. I don't know, it gets a little noisy with that in my opinion, but this could look cool, something like that. I don't know yet. You get some beam sabers, both short and long, just to round out the full arsenal. And of course, Mr. Setsuna right there. I enjoyed this build. I mean, of course, Bandai is just always bringing it with how superposable these can be. I mean, look at that. I'm sure I'll come up with some other cool ways to display it. But yeah, there was a couple of spots that were not the most fun, especially these little ribbon cable things, but they're definitely worth it for that little extra detail in the end. So what I'm going to do next is there are quite a bit of stickers and whatnot to get caught up on. So I'm going to do all that, pretty them up with some panel lining, and then I want to finish it up, then be ready for the shelf. So thanks for watching, everyone. I'll see you on the next one.